as we said, we're going to jump in, well, just past 4, to talk a little bit about kind of the program a bit more, kind of talk maybe touch on some of the worries and maybe kind of some of the kind of objections or some of the things that come up with the people we speak to when it comes to kind of starting the program. But yeah, firstly, Michael, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty glad it's Friday. I think everyone's been feeling the same. I think it's one of those, that first week after Christmas, you've just got to get through it. Everyone's a bit tired, everyone's a bit lethargic. I've been feeling it, so I'm buzzing. It's Friday. Nice quiet weekend, and then ready to hopefully hit the ground running Monday.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds good. Yes, yeah, same for me. It's kind of it's just getting through it, and then next week a bit more routine, get back into it, and yeah, life gets a little bit simpler, doesn't it?
Yeah, hopefully.
So firstly, so we're going to talk a little bit about maybe what some people's worries might be when they're starting a program. Also, we thought it'd be a good idea to touch base and tell people what kind of support they can expect if they're going to work with us, and also people want to know what you're going to get there. You want to know kind of what result you might get, what to expect, because you don't want to go in something and not be sure what you're going to get out of it. So right, so what were the kind of what objections have you been kind of come up against? What worries?
Just quickly, just before we get into that, guys, we're going to try and keep this down to 20 minutes as well today, because we normally say we'll do about 15-20 minutes and we'll be done, but it always goes on a little bit longer because obviously we're passionate about what we do, and we can talk about health, fitness, behavior change, coaching probably all night, but no one has time for that, so we're going to try and keep this to 20. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, I think the first thing is I want to what we want to do is just cover some challenges and objections that people have. So I think one of the biggest ones is always like time.
Yeah,
we're all time poor, we're all busy, we've all got stuff on, families, kids. Some kids have bigger all kids have bigger social lives than their parents. It's ridiculous, after school clubs and everything. So yeah, time commitment. So what's the time commitment, would you say, in terms of like exercise and whatever else they'll need to do?
Well, kind of ideally it's about getting started and doing something.
Yeah,
and kind of what we expect is after a couple of weeks, 3 times, I don't know, 30 minutes a kind of a week is enough. Certainly, if you're going from very little to kind of do something, I find that kind of a really good number. So I don't know, 2-3 weeks in, you're looking at about 30-minute workouts, and you can get a really good workout in that time. You can get a good calorie burn, you can get your body really, really moving. So yeah, that's kind of, obviously we kind of try and kind of eke it up a little bit, don't we, as we go along, and again, it has to be done with kind of slowly but surely.
Yeah, and also like most people want to do more after a period of time. Like, I know, like with my clients, I'm sure you're exactly the same. When it comes to the exercise, I ask them what they've done in the last 6 months, and it might be very little, and they're like, right, I'm going to go to the gym 4 times this week, and I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes. Look, could you go twice for half an hour? And then it's like you say, it's slow, it's sustainable, it's manageable. But most people have all that enthusiasm to go, which is great. But it's like you've got a good period of time to add that. Like if you go to 4 to 5 times a week, where's the progression?
Yeah,
and that's what probably most people are doing in January. So yeah, I see it as long as you're doing more than last week, you build upon it each week. And I think to begin with, probably you need an hour to an hour and a half, and I'd say that covers the exercise. And then maybe if you want to get a bit more organized with food shopping and there's a few videos to watch, I think you probably need an hour to an hour and a half, especially the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
which absolutely. If you can't commit to that, that's probably your biggest problem. Time.
Yeah, and again, it's a matter of kind of thinking if you feel like you haven't got enough time. And again, we work through this with our clients, don't we? It's about going, how can we? All of us have got the same amount of hours in a day. All of us have it, and it's a matter of thinking about how can we work our lives around exercise if that's what we're trying to get. Because it's important. Exercise needs to be part of your life. I mean, if you want to live a long, happy life and be fit and healthy, it has to be part of it. So it's a matter of kind of thinking, what can we do to make sure it's embedded? And it's like, even though we're going to be working with people for 6 weeks, we're not looking at 6 weeks at somebody going back to where they were and going, God, thank that God that's over. That was horrendous. Yeah. I'm going to go back to my normal life. And that is maybe why all this momentum and this kind of passion and this kind of motivation people have now kind of wanes off, and suddenly by kind of mid-Feb, people are kind of back to normal. So that's the power of kind of thing. What can we do realistically? Maybe not easily. Yeah, I use the word easily, fit into our lives, and to get the biggest benefit in that moment, and then build from that.
Yeah, I think it's really important that it is easy, especially at the beginning. You know, because the time for change at the beginning can be quite hard and difficult. So you need to make it easy. So can it be like 30 minutes in the gym? Can it be aiming for a certain amount of steps, not a 10K? So you can hit those, have those goals and hit them and be like, yeah, I've done that. I feel good for doing that. So the easier you can implement these things, the better, because then you're going to stick to them as well. And then you've got time to add more things. So yeah, time-wise, hour and a half, I think, especially the first 2 weeks. Maybe towards the end, we might expect, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 hours. Remember, it's only a 6-week period of time, and hopefully, the more you do and the better you feel, you normally find areas when you can do more, because it's like exercise, the most underrated thing for reducing stress and lifting your mood. So normally, when you start doing more and you start feeling more energetic, you want to do more because you're like, fucking hell, I feel good. How do I get more of this good feeling? So yeah, time commitment. I'd say if you can't commit to an hour and a half, then that's probably your biggest problem, and that needs to be solved. Whether it's delegating things, being a bit more brutal with your time, saying no to things, whatever that looks like. If you're so time poor you can't find an hour to hour and a half, then you're going to be struggling. Yeah. Whether that's in this program or anything, you've got to fix that problem. I think the next thing is obviously. Probably, I think nutrition normally comes up quite a lot. You normally get someone asking, am I going to have to live off salad all the time, or am I going to have to eat some foods that I don't enjoy eating? Like, I don't know, I hate eating fish. You're going to make me eat fish all the time, or like, I absolutely hate vegetables. You're going to make me eat veg, and it's like, well, if you hate eating that food, you can't see yourself doing it in 6 months or a year. Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. Am I going to make you eat food you don't enjoy eating?
No, because diet should be what you eat, shouldn't it? I mean, it shouldn't. Even the phrasing when people say, I'm going to go on this diet. It's like, I'm going to go on this thing which isn't part of my life. And even the phrasing sounds kind of short term. And it's you shouldn't be going on a diet. What we're going to educate, help people with is actually say you can manage your weight and your health within the realms of the food you enjoy. And it's just 100%. A matter of having a kind of a bit of a critical eye on it and going, you know what, if I am struggling to lose weight, then something has to change with my food. It just has to. But again, similarly to going to the gym 5 hours of every single day a week for an hour, going from nothing to that. Similarly, if you go onto something like kind of where you're cutting out whole food groups, or even things like dry January, which in themselves is no bad thing. And actually, there's loads of research that dry January has long-term health benefits. Yeah. If you're going to go cold turkey and get rid of that for your life, then I speak to lots of people and get down to a week or two, or even a few days in, and that's a bit of a struggle because they've gone too far.
Yeah. Yeah, like all these things are difficult. So, you have these different diets where whether it's keto that's become massively popular, which basically was Atkins in the 90s, or all these things, they're really difficult. Yeah. Really difficult. I mean, who doesn't love carbs? Like, who doesn't love a bit of cake or a pizza? And then there's other ones where you're trying to cut out all sugar. It's like, you got sugar in bread and ketchup and things that you wouldn't even expect sugar in, porridge, all these things. It's like, it's almost impossible. So you've got to look at your, like you say, like your current food. What are the tweaks that can be made? And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have to be that big. Most people know what they shouldn't eat, or know what they should reduce and eat less of and eat more of. A lot of the time, it's about sometimes introducing more foods, like more fruit, more veg, more protein, so it keeps you fuller for longer, instead of always restricting stuff. A lot of my clients that, I'm sure you felt the same, is like, they'll say, I eat more now than I ever did. Because it's good quality food, and it's you're getting your fruit and veg and all your minerals and proteins in. You can actually eat more food, but it's more of the right food.
Yeah, absolutely. And
food, 100% the biggest thing as well. Just if anyone's unsure, you know, exercise, great, reducing stress, energy, all these things, absolutely brilliant. Mood, great, you feel good. But when it comes to weight loss, it's 100% the food. You have to absolutely, I can't even stress this enough, you have to concentrate on the food.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I remember in the past thinking, I might just, when I was trying to lose weight years and years ago, I'll just go to the gym again and I'll burn off the kind of that burger I've had and that pint I've had. It just slowly realizing that actually that doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yeah, and also some people unfortunately put on weight when they start exercising, going to the gym, because you get hungrier. You get hungrier, and it's easy to overeat, and we also overestimate how many calories we burn. So then, you're hungrier, you think you've burnt a certain amount of calories, and you just eat it all back plus some. And then imagine you've been training really hard for 3-4 weeks, and then you realize you weigh yourself, you've gained 2 pounds. You're going to feel like fucking shit.
Yeah. So it's again, we can guide people through this process and actually going, we having that structure in place means you've got confidence that actually what you're doing is going to work as well. Again, people go into it without really, because it's not your thing. I mean, if you I don't know, whatever your job is, it's not your business to maybe know or have a structure in place to do it. That's where kind of we come in, and we can give you that structure to build up on, and definitely use the motivation and the momentum you got and build on that.
Yeah, of course. It's just like anything. Like if I bought a house last year, I certainly didn't do any of the paperwork or contracts or anything. Now I've got a solicitor to do it. They're a professional. I wish I had the skills to do it, save yourself a bit of money, but it takes all that brain power and away from me. I've got no idea what to do. So the solicitor does it. They said, you just need to sign this. You need to provide me with this. And the same as we can help provide people with, I guess if you can call it in that role, we're like the solicitors. So, we can provide you with exactly what you need and give you absolute clarity when it comes to nutrition, because it is a bit of a minefield. And I feel for people because they just don't know who to trust or who to follow. But the reality is it is actually quite simple, isn't it? And again, like from feedback from clients, they're like, I didn't realize how simple it was going to be. It's because there's people trying to sell diets and all sorts. Remember, everyone's got an agenda. 1 minute it's you got to concentrate on your gut health. 1 minute it's low carb. 1 minute it's you take these shakes and that's going to be all the things. You've got all these things, and they're very clever with the marketing, and you'll get bombarded with them, especially on social media. So it's hard to get away. And people want to try stuff as well. Something new and shiny comes along. We're almost like kids sometimes. I'll try that. That'd be the thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I suppose it kind of maybe come that kind of that lots of information, maybe too much information and too many things out there, and that confusion. Again, we need to build up confidence in ourselves that actually we do know we can make our own choices and we can be kind of solution finders to the problem we've got. And that just takes a little bit of time to build that confidence. And again, to build the confidence, you've got to try things out. You've got to track in terms of what changes are happening when you try those things out. And certainly I've had loads of moments kind of fairly early on in my program when I'm talking to my clients where we've tried something and I explain, well, let's just test it out. Let's see what happens. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think we should do? And they're kind of like, oh, I've heard this. Well, let's try it. And then the next week is like, wow, that's made a big difference this week. Well, I say, okay, let's double down on that. And then and you can see this confidence growing inside them. Going, do you know what? I can do this. And like you said, it's that epiphany of like, this was not complicated. I just had to build that self-confidence that I could do it.
And that's so important as well, because no one wants their hand held for 6 months. Like that's not going to make anyone feel good, and also not really learn anything. So when you come to the end of the 6 months, you're then on your own. It's like, now what? Coaching, of course, and that's probably lead on to the next thing. Like we give our clients, and if you decide if you want to join us for the 6-week shreds, is like we're going to give you the support, but we're also going to make it so you feel like you're in charge, and we always want our clients to feel like they're leading it. Yeah. We're going to be there to guide and support. I always imagine it like we'll show you the path, but you have to walk down it and be the leader of your journey and your story, because at some point we're certainly not going to be there in 6 months or a year's time, or even after 6 weeks. We always think you should have a bigger vision for yourself, but we're not going to be there. And you need to walk that walk yourself. So of course there'll be guidance and support, but you have to lead that. And if you're always unsure, or you don't know whether that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, then you're going to end up back at square one, or even worse. So you need to have that confidence of what you're doing is the right thing.
Yeah, it's got to be done with a long-term goal in mind. Is it pointless? It probably is. Yeah, it's pointless if you're going to go if you're going to go into something again and you go back. It's all you're doing is causing yourself pain, and you just degrading that confidence even more when you get to the end. Everything that we do with our clients is how is this going to help them in 6 months, in a year, in 18 months time, in 10 years time? How is what we're doing now going to help them then? Because you are exactly right. Nobody wants to be, we're adults, and nobody wants to feel powerless in terms of how they're managing something. And if you feel powerless in terms of your health and your weight, it's a really, just not a nice place to be. Whereas if you're like, of course, whatever happens, and me and you and I both have struggles with health and stuff, and times when we don't want to do it and don't want to exercise, don't want to eat right. Yeah. But it's we all have those times, but it's about kind of building that ability to just keep going, and because otherwise, like I said, you just feel powerless in the situation. And if you feel powerless, you're much more likely to make the choices that you don't actually want to make, rationally want to make, but you're being driven maybe by, I don't know, a feeling inside that actually I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel confident. You know, I'm gonna reach for comfort. And again, food can be comfort, and that can be a learned thing. That can be, but yeah, food tastes good. We all have certain foods that we go to. It's about managing that. It's about managing that kind of those feelings, and making sure that you are moving forward and not going back.
Yeah, so I look at that as, I think people do like join a program, and I think they get a diet plan, or they get an exercise plan, and that's great. And if you can stick to it, it's great. But a lot of the time there's not that much support, and there's also no real work internally on yourself. So what are my struggles? So identify what that is. A lot of people, it's a weekend. A lot of people, it's late night snacking. A lot of people eat because of stress. They don't sleep well, so the stress levels are up. So it's really holding a bit of a mirror to yourself and going like, what are the struggles? And asking yourself some tough questions, which aren't easy, but they're how you move forward. And it's a bit open, it's a bit vulnerable. But once you do the work on yourself, identify like what's going on for me. Why is it that I've struggled with this for whatever reason? Everyone will have their reasons from there to there. We'll all have the reasons in between. And then just asking yourself, like, what are they? And then going forward, like, who do I want to be? Do I want to be someone that yo-yos again, that does these shreds or challenges and always ends up at square one? Or do I want to be someone that finally fucking nails it, changes their mindset around exercise, food, habits, lifestyle, everything that goes into that, because they want to be that person that runs and plays with their kids on the beach and has the energy to, like, I don't know, last thing I could imagine is like, I haven't got kids, but like my little 6-year-old running faster than me and beating me. I'll be like, you little, like, I want to be that dad that the kids come out and they see at the playground. And they're like, oh, how cool's my dad? Like, he's so fast, because kids think you're the fastest, strongest person in the world, don't they? That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure I mentioned it before in the videos. There's a water park around here. And one of my clients, he was able to go on the water park with his son and do all the stuff. Whereas before he just sat and watched and just, I mean, he was early 40s, and he's only kind of sat there looking over there, his kid, and his kid's kind of looking up, and that gave him so much kind of confidence and pleasure and joy to be able to, do you know what, I can do this, I can physically do this thing. And also that gave his son the pleasure as well. So yeah, you are exactly right. It's having a kind of, because how much more powerful is that than, say, if you start something and go, I want to lose some weight and be fit. I mean, that means virtually nothing. It doesn't, there's no emotion attached to it. There's no kind of feeling attached to it. Whereas if you go, do you know what, this is so important because in the future, I want to be that guy. I want to be standing there kind of on that. Again, if I'm thinking about that water park, stood there in a wetsuit thinking, do you know what, I'm loving this. I'm fucking loving this experience. And my son is looking at me and thinking, and he's really happy that he's with me. That's so much more powerful. Again, that's kind of, anybody that's going to work with us, you've got to know that this is not just we're not going to give you a PDF diet plan and a workout plan and send you on your way. And
no, because you can get that on fucking Google.
Google it.
I've sworn a lot today. I don't know what's going on, so apologies if you for the profanities, but they've snuck out. It's Friday. What's going on? That's what's happening. Yeah, like I absolutely agree, and I think let's so that's like, you know, time commitment. Find an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Should be able to find that. If you can't, then that's a big problem. Food, we figure out what's manageable and sustainable for you, so that's really important. We want to be looking, everyone that joins potentially thinking of it's going to be long term. You should have a bigger vision. It's not just about diet and exercise; it's about changing who you are as a person. So those are a few of the biggest things. And I think results wise, look, you're going to come in. It's a shred. We want you to lose weight. So I think if you stick to the habits, behaviors, and what we're going to help provide and give you, I don't see any reason why anyone should be looking to lose 14 pounds, which is a stone. That's a manageable amount of weight where it should still be fun. So it's important, whatever you do, you've got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you're going to get to week 6 and be like, I can't wait to go back to my normal food and habits. So obviously you're going to get, once you lose weight, you start to feel better. So your energy levels are going to go up, your stress is going to go down. Certainly probably going to be probably happier to be around. You know, it's hard to carry an extra weight. It's tiring. So like all the benefits that I'm sure everyone knows when they've been losing weight and they've been going to the gym and they've been eating healthy, you feel good and you want more of that. You know, we're not going to tell you every single bit of how you're going to feel, because you should know how you're going to feel. Most people, you know, everyone knows how it feels when you're eating well and exercising.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you've got kind of you and I in your back pocket, almost like kind of, we're not just going to disappear and not be there available, but we will be honest with you. And that's something which I think is missed in the world of health and fitness, is that real kind of honesty. And if you ask us a question, or say if you've said you're going to do something, we are going to pull you up on it, because accountability is so very important. That you say, right, I'm gonna do my 30-minute workouts this week, and if you don't do them, we're going to say, why didn't you do them? And you're going to have to honestly say, these are the reasons why. But that's no bad thing. Again, failure is very, very useful as long as you learn from it. And I think,
and also we're not going to fucking sugarcoat it either. Like, and that doesn't mean we're going to be completely harsh. We're just going to hold people to account, which is what people pay for people people like us in a coaching program. They want that. Most people say, I want to kick up the arse. I'd prefer to call it accountability. Yeah. And we're going to keep people accountable, and we're not going to I've lost the words, but we're just going to be honest. I think we're two honest guys, and I think both our philosophy is like, we're not going to bullshit. At the end of the day, if you come into a program, you've got to do the work. Neither of us can do it for anyone. So if you do want to join us, we want committed people that are ready to come and do some work. Because if you don't do the work, you won't get the result, and that won't be on us. We will show you exactly what you need to do to get the result. And if you do it, you'll get result 100%. If you don't, then you'll only have yourself to blame, because you've got to go out and do what you agree. You've got to do the things. Nobody can do it for you. Like, no one. You can go and see Tony Robbins, one of the best coaches. No, not everyone likes him, but he'll be the same. You have to do the work. Yeah,
and it's all said with love and support, isn't it? It's like, do you know what? Yeah. This is we're not going to kind of shame anybody. We're not going to kind of be me. I've seen trainers and people in person, but also online, be really horrible to their clients to try and get them to do stuff. That's not how we work. But we are going to. It's almost like it's like the same I would do with my son when he's upset. It's like I put an arm around him and go, do you know what's happened? What's going on? And that's for guys, that can be sometimes difficult. But then this is why this process works, is because you've got that honesty from both sides. Yeah, I've struggled. Okay, how can we be better this week?
Yeah, exactly. Just being brutal, just being honest. Like, that was a struggle. Cool. So why was it a struggle? What can we do to move forwards together as a team? And I think that's really important. I want, if whoever comes in, like, I want them to feel like you're all part of a team. The best teams work together. They've all got the same vision. Like, they've all got the same vision. They all support each other. They all celebrate in their wins. Everyone wins together. Everyone, I don't want to say loses together, but everyone wins together. Everyone has struggles together, and everyone celebrates wins and maybe it's a little bit harder, but everyone pulls each other up.
Yeah.
You know, and that for me, that's the power of the group. Everyone's in it as a team. Everyone's pretty similar. Like the goals may be slightly different, but they're all probably going to be like-minded men who want to feel better, want to look better, want to be a bit fitter and healthier. And that's all it is. And everyone supports each other. That's the big thing. Let's support. I think weight loss is lonely. Yeah. Anything you do, to be honest, on your own can be pretty lonely when you're looking to get results, because you don't have the support and you don't have that accountability. And people are often quite good at letting themselves down. Don't want us to come across harsh, but they're quite good at doing it, you know. But if you've got that support and accountability, then you're less likely to want to let your teammates down. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I always say, kind of, if you need help, ask for it. And if a teammate kind of asks for help, you give it as well. Because that can be, on the other side of the coin, can be so powerful as well. Kind of imagine if a few weeks in, somebody's got a problem which you overcame, and you can jump in and go, do you know what? I fixed this like that. And again, that's so powerful. Getting a group of guys together, all working towards similar things. Yeah, we're definitely stronger and better than if we were in isolation or on our own.
100%. Like, you know, you look at, like, I love those like wildlife programs, and you look at the ants and like the amazing things they can do. And they're basically, you've got that movie, haven't you? They're like an army. Yeah. And it's unbelievable. Like, obviously we're humans, but if you work together, like, nothing gets built without having a team. Nothing. And it's that saying, if you want to go fast, you go alone, isn't it? If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. I think, to be honest, I think there's enough information there. You know, we try to keep this to 20, but obviously it clearly didn't happen. No. Like, as always, any questions, any concerns, we're looking to get people on board next week to potentially start the week after. We want to get this going, to be honest. We're really excited to launch it. We haven't done anything quite exactly like this. Me and Tom have both done 12-week programs 1-to-1. And I've also had a group program for a year. So I've been doing this for quite a long time. But as in terms of like a 6-week shred, it's a little bit different. So huge value though. Honestly, it's gonna, obviously it's our program, but I'm going to be massively biased. But you're going to get a huge amount of value. To be honest, in terms of investment, it's not going to be huge. I think if you didn't do it, you'd be crazy. To being completely honest, if you are sitting there thinking, I like what, like Tom's been saying, what I've been saying, you feel like it's the right fit, then it's basically time to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. You use that. If before Christmas you were saying to yourself, I need to sort this out. If between Christmas and New Year you were sat there at home thinking, I need to sort this out, and now it's January again, and you've been thinking, I need to sort it out. And also, if you've tried lots of things over the last, 10 years, again, you've got to think, you're exactly right. It's time to step up and get a way forward, because it's more important than just you and your health. Again, thinking about that story of kind of think about if you've got children, if you've got that, like when I think about looking after myself, I think about my son. I want to be an example. I want to be there. I want to be able to carry on doing all the things that I want to do. So yeah, you're exactly right. It's time to step up.
100%. All right. Anything else to add?
Do you know what? That's it. But yeah, if anybody's got any questions, you just have to ask. Again, we love answering questions. We love talking to people. We love giving people help, and that's why we do this. So yeah, any questions? If this is a useful video, if you find it useful, give it a like, or even better, a love. And again, that just tells the Facebook algorithm that what we're saying is of interest.
A little love from Mr. Matty Burke.
Oh, good on Matty.
Awesome coach himself as well. Yeah, just to wrap up, like, you know, as English people, we're not great at blowing our own trumpets. We're pretty terrible at it, aren't we? But me and Tom are pretty good at this. Like, we've got some incredible results, and also some results that have really lasted for our clients. And you can speak to our clients or testimonials or see reviews on, you know, LinkedIn or in our Facebook groups or anywhere. Like, we're very open with what we've done with our clients, and I'm sure you're proud. I'm really proud of the results my clients have got. So, you know, if you do decide this is a fit and you want to have a conversation, you'll be in good hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Do your due diligence. Check us out. Have a look. Again, you need to make sure that we're not the snake oil kind of merchant. Also, you have to like
Tinder
us.
swindler.
Yeah, you gotta just check us out. I mean, just if make sure we're legit. Again, you've got to, if you're going to be doing something which is as important as this, you need to make sure the people that are going to fix it are the right kind of people.
100%. 100%. All right, that's it, guys. You open, Tom. You close.
I'm a what?
You open to the
you
can close.
Okay. We're so professional at this. No, thanks for watching. Again, if you've got any questions, just drop us a DM, comment on there, speak to me, whatever you got. Like I said, we are here to help. We're kind of getting things going next week, week after. So if you are wanting to do this, now is the time to do it.
I echo exactly what you're saying.
Right. Cheers, Michael. Have a great weekend.